Hello. I pray that everyone is well and blessed. I am recording a video today from the lovely and beautiful country of Costa Rica. And I'm super excited to be making this video today because this is my third trip. And the first two times I was here, it was, each time was an experience. And so I wanted to share my experiences with the world with the hopes that it inspires you to travel to Costa Rica because it's just such an amazing and beautiful place. Um, so I don't even know how to start. I guess I can start with why Costa Rica. Um, I first heard of Costa Rica many years ago, watching a show on TLC. I think it's called International House Hunters, where people travel like they're looking to, for homes out of the country. And so I first heard of Costa Rica, many, many years ago. And I've always wanted to travel, to all the Latin countries. So definitely a place that I wanted to visit. But when I met my husband, he had never traveled out of the country, but had heard about Costa Rica being in the top, one of the top retirement destinations, because it was like one of the safest countries for expats. And upon meeting him, one day we're sitting around talking about it. We did some research and we decided that, yeah, let's retire in Costa Rica. And so we put that into motion. And but prior to moving, we wanted to do a scouting trip. So in June of 2022, my husband and I came here for about a month to do a scouting trip, and we fell in love with Costa Rica. We came to the Caribbean side of Caribbean, however you say it, side of Costa Rica, and they split the country up into different provinces. So we're in the province of Talamanca. So it's Puerto Viejo, the province of Talamanca. Talamanca, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, please excuse me. I don't mean any, to disrespect the country, the culture, or the people. Um, and why did we choose Costa Rica? I think that the very first reason was because of the safety. Costa Rica does not have a military. Their saying of their country is Pura Vida, the pure life. So you come here and, to live the pure life. Again, there's no military, so it's just very, very safe. They are very friendly and supportive of women here and children. And so, of course, why not come here? The crime is very low. The crime is more of like opportunity. So like if you go to the beach and you leave your purse, you know, someone, there's a possibility that your purse, may be taken or something like that. Since I've been here, the times I've been here, I have not experienced any crime, any issues like that. I'm just putting that out there as, that is what, in our research, that is what we found was a concern, but I have not experienced that. Does it happen? Sure it happens, but it happens where you live too. If you go anywhere and leave your purse, somebody's going to take it. If you leave your car unlocked or something, somebody can go in there. So for me, that's always a plus. In the number two, I would say, not in any order, but the second reason I would say that we love Costa Rica is because of the weather. They have different regions, like as I said, we chose this side because of the climate. Where Costa Rica is located, it's, so close to the equator that it's just like a balance. The sun rises at like about 5:30 in the morning, and then the sun sets at about 5:30 in the evening. And so early days and early evenings. Um, the weather here in the Caribbean side is hot and humid, extremely hot and humid. They do have two seasons, the hot and humid season, and then they have the rainy season. And excuse me, I off the top of my head, I can't recall what the months are um, for the rainy season. But in the rainy season, I don't believe that it rains like all day long. I believe that there's a period where it's going to rain. You can just pretty much grab your poncho, your umbrella if you're going to be out, or, kind of tailor your day so you don't go out during that time, because it will rain and it'll downpour for a certain amount of time, and then that'll be it. For the most part, again, I'm repeating to you from the research that we've done. We have not been here during the rainy season, so and I believe that that is a concern, the rainy season, because it will rain a lot, and during um, in different parts of this country, the infrastructure is not set up with the roads properly, so you have to be concerned with, the flooding and roads not being able to be passed. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes over here, so just bear with me. The currency difference. The currency here is the colones. They use the colones, and you have to check the currency exchange rate. It changes every day. I think right now it's 5.5 to the dollar, so one colones is 5.5 to the US dollar. So the price of the dollar is higher here, so your money goes further here. You can afford more things, and then it's just cheaper to live here. When we were doing our research at the time, upon our research, we found that we can live with everything, housing, utilities, internet, Wi-Fi, cell phone, food, and entertainment for approximately $1,200 a month. And that was when we did our research 2 years ago, so I'm sure that the prices have gone up. But that was very appealing when you're retired and on a fixed income. That amount is is great. And when we came here, we found that to be exactly that. Actually, for us, it was actually cheaper. So great, right? And one of the other major pluses for Costa Rica is the food. The soil here is naturally organic because it's a volcanic soil. And so they have, most of the places, I would say a good majority of the places, use organic. The fruit, vegetables, everything is naturally organic. But what I did learn is that some places do choose to use the pesticides to preserve their products, but that is not the majority of the country. So the fruit here is so amazing. Oh my gosh, they have so many different fruits. I don't even know the names that they just don't have in the United States. But the ones that they do have, the bananas here, oh my gosh, when you eat it, it's so amazing. The mangoes, it's just, the fruit is so amazing, and the food is so good. Everything just tastes so good. And I have food allergies and challenges because I had weight loss surgery, and what I noticed here was just like a complete and total reset for me, without the pesticides, without all of the stuff. And we ate and eat local when we're here, so the food is just so much more amazing. And the people, the culture, the Caribbean side, they have more. This is more of they call it the black side, where they have more people who, look like me. So they have a big Afro Latino. I don't want to misrepresent the culture, and so, if someone knows the correct terms to use, please by all means put them in the comments, because I'm not trying to disrespect the culture or misrepresent. But this side just has more Afro Latinas, and so when I walk down the street, without speaking, I look like them and they look like me, so you can't tell us apart. And so that was one of the major reasons to come to Costa Rica, especially the Puerto Viejo, live on this side, because of the Afro Latina culture. And then just the activities here, you can go surfing, the wildlife. We were walking and you can see the sloths. I'm not sure if you can see, but just like the greenery, the jungle, the howler monkeys. You can't hear them here where I'm at right now, but I heard them first thing this morning. Just to walk down the street and just see all the beautiful birds, the butterflies, the flowers, the beaches. Playa Negra, the black beach, is like my favorite beach here, because it has this beautiful black sand that you can just lay in and put on you as like a mask, to exfoliate. I just absolutely love it. And um, next, I would just like to talk about some of the concerns. Every place has concerns, whether you're in the United States or, out of the country. Every place has concerns. And so for me, I can say that I love living out of the country. I've lived out of the country when I was young as a military brat, and then I lived out of the country as an adult with my family when I was on active duty. And so when I live out of the country, I'm very much looking to connect with other people, because you're away from your family and you want to connect and, build memories and stuff with people here. And so we did several consultations before moving here with different people, just to find out about the country, get more information before we did our scouting trip. And that was one of the things that we were interested in, was coming here and community building with other expats and connecting with the locals. And so we were very much expecting that when we came. And I can say that the 2 times that we did come this trip, we just got here yesterday. So we'll see. We'll do another video before I leave to see. But we were very much expecting to connect with other expats, to just community build. And, we have a minor child. And so, we want to connect our child with other children here for that experience. And I can say that for me, when I came and I had that expectation of looking to connect with other expats. And for me, I just did not find that. I did attend, several events, many events, join the Facebook groups, and there's some WhatsApp groups. But for me, I just didn't find that connection, where it was being promoted that there was this, Black expats come here and, connect and we're family. I just did not personally experience that. I'm not saying that it's not here. I'm just saying that was not my experience. And, but I still had a great experience. I did connect with other expats who were living here who, were not a part of the Facebook groups, who were not a part of the WhatsApp groups, who were just living here, living their lives. And we also met some very great locals here who really just helped us get oriented. We rented a place in Kawita the second time that we were here. And it was so amazing. I definitely have to talk about that. I'm going to save that experience to talk about that for the last. It's on my list here. The transportation can be a concern if you. I am 100% disabled and I have medical challenges. So for me, moving around, getting around is a concern. The mode of transportation in Puerto Viejo is mostly in foot. They have it's called a tuk-tuk, where it's like a little motorized cart where you can, go back and forth. It only costs a couple colones. Biking is so fun, exercise and transportation. They have motorcycles, like little scooters that you can rent, and they also have rental cars. We've never rented a car here. We just chose to tuk-tuk, bike, walk. They have we chose to fly into San Jose, but you can fly into Liberia. We drove past the airport there. It's super, super soft. So for me, I chose to fly into San Jose. And then we have done both options. We've taken our 3 options. We've taken the Mepe, which is the bus that drives from San Jose down. It makes several stops down, which is only a couple colones. It takes several hours, and it's definitely not private, but it is the cheapest route to get from San Jose down and around. It doesn't only go to San Jose. At one point, we took a private driver who drove us down, and, he stopped and showed us Kawita and the national park and took us on a private tour. It was amazing. And we've also taken the shuttle down. We chose Caribe shuttle before, and they just load your stuff up and drive you down. And we stopped in with them as well in Kawita, and they showed us the national park. And so there's so many different options as far as modes of transportation. You just have to figure out what works best for you. And with the transportation, I think that's when we noticed the term. It's called gringo. And basically, that term is given to people who are not from this country. And I don't know if it's just like Americans or if it's anyone, but they call it gringo tax. And basically, what that is like if when you're riding the tuk tuk or you're taking a taxi, for the people who live here, it may be like 2 colones, and everybody knows that that's the going rate. But if you're not from here, or if you're a tourist and you don't know, they may say, oh, it's 4 colones. And because you're not here and you don't know what colones is or what the going price is, they will, charge you more. And so I'm saying that that's a concern, but it's not really a concern in the sense of, they're, in my experience, we didn't get like, you know, like completely taken advantage of. If they say a price and you don't feel okay with that price, you can say no. How about if they say 3 colones, you can say, how about 2 colones? And, kind of do the barter system. And that's what I, found kind of works. And the one of the concerns that I wanted to talk about, which was a major concern for me, which sent us back to the United States, is the health care and access to that. So when you're staying in San Jose, they have access to everything. They actually, Costa Rica is known for medical tourism, dental tourism is very, very big here. Their doctors are, I believe, they train in the U.S., or is that, I'm not sure if that's Puerto Rico or Costa Rica. So if I'm misstating that, please correct me. But they have amazing health care that is accessible in San Jose. But San Jose is colder and there's no beach there. And so I'm coming to Puerto Viejo because I want the beach, and that's a 4 to 5 hour drive. And so when we were here the second time, our family got dengue virus, which is um, virus that's transmitted from the mosquitoes. The place that we had initially lived at, there was standing water behind the home, which breeds mosquitoes. And I believe that there was a dengue outbreak at that time. And so we just happened to catch it. Our daughter caught it first, my husband, and then me. And I had it the worst because I have existing medical problems, I would believe. And I think I had just had surgery before I came. So my immune system just was not strong enough to fight that off. And it started off with like a rash and then a fever, and then aches and pains in my entire body, like in my kneecaps, in my joints, in my eye sockets, and this headache that progressed to vomiting and diarrhea that would not stop for 8 days, which prompted me to at one point need an ambulance, um, which I quickly found out that there is no 911 in Costa Rica. And so by the grace of God, the people that we were renting from, came over, got me in the car, took me over to the hospital, which I had been going back and forth throughout the process because they have to draw your blood and check your levels. And my levels weren't improving, my symptoms weren't improving, and I just got progressively worse. And where I struggled is I don't know the language. I have un poquito Spanish, and what I found again with the just being American is that there are some people, and this is my experience, not to be offensive or disrespectful for anyone, but this is my experience, and I experienced it more than once, not in the healthcare um, interactions, but that some people in the country um, feel that Americans are rich and that we are coming here and taking away their land, their resources, even their men. And so at that time I guess I was considered a rich American, and they did not want to provide medical care for me. And I didn't speak the language. And so it got into a point where I needed my husband to come and be there with me and translate. And even that, they did not want to allow it. But we had to be insistent. Like, you literally have to advocate for yourself, that, I need help. I need serious help. And when we were able to get into the hospital, to get back in the back and talk with a doctor that spoke English, they really didn't want to speak with me. They very much wanted to speak with my husband and oh mi amor, and they would speak English and Spanish to him, but to me they would only speak Spanish. And they refused care. They refused to give me an IV, which I desperately needed. I was super dehydrated. Could barely just, oh my gosh, it was super bad. I had lost 13 pounds, and I had weight loss surgery. So I was at a point where I was like in the critical stage of where I was with my weight. And so we had to make a decision to go back to the United States for me to get the care that I needed. And it was very sad because we were living here at this point. We had, had a home. We had got settled. Our daughter was in activity. She was going to an aerial and gymnastics class. I had found a dance class. Just really started to make connections, and so it was very sad, to leave. But it became very real to me that I need to ensure that I am stable health wise, and that I have access to health care if I am going to live here. And they do have a hospital in Home Creek, which I did visit. They do have little clinics in Puerto Viejo and Cawita. They have access to medical care. You just have to know how to access it, especially in emergency. And so, if you're coming here and you have medical challenges, or if you know, do your due diligence and seek out the medical dental services ahead of time and already get familiar with that, because to wait till you're having an emergency to try to find those things, or, to decide, to try to see if there's 911 to call an ambulance, that's not the time. And so, that's just my experience. And that was 2 years ago when I had the dengue. And I'm back. So obviously, it didn't deter me too much from coming back. So I highly recommend Costa Rica for everything that I mentioned: the food, the culture, the weather, the stability of the temperature, and the being at the equator. Like, spiritually, it's so balancing. For the money, as far as the currency exchange and the cost of living, for the pure life, the pure vida, food, I can go on and on. My suggestions would be to do your research. There are Facebook groups you can join, many YouTube videos that you can watch. There's people that you can seek out to do consultations to, for your specific needs, for schooling, education. Our daughter goes to school online with Florida Virtual. So, for us, we don't have that concern. But, if at one point we were researching the schools because we wanted to put our daughter in in-person school. So, and they do have them. They do have some really, really good schools here. So I highly recommend it. Fishing. My husband is a fisherman. He's went out this morning to, do some fishing, and I'm here this time. I'm seeking out a shaman to do some spiritual work and healing, and so yeah, Costa Rica. Visit Pura Vida. Come visit and share your experiences. I like to share the good and the bad, not just, I think that was one of the concerns for me, is that everybody online was just, oh, come here, it's so great, it's so wonderful. And I think that people were afraid to share and I don't want to say negatives, but, because there's light and dark. It's duality, right? The positives and the not so positives. And so come come visit. Visit the different regions. This time I pray that we get to visit the different regions. And we also took a quick trip to Panama from right here where I'm sitting. Panama is a 45-minute bus ride. So we shot to Panama real quick and did that. And this time I hope to go to Nicaragua, which you can go to from here too. So just visit, travel, experience the culture, the food, and do it. Book the trip. So I pray this video, you find something in here that helped, and, reach out to me on my website or in the comments, whatever, if you have some questions. And there's so much more to traveling, and so many more tips that I can give and share if you're interested. And, Pura Vida.